Welcome to another chapter of the Coach's Corner. We're here at the Tivoli Tap House. I'm Dave Moreno alongside Avery Anderson. Avery, thanks for filling in for Tony today.
Yeah, of course.
So, Avery, what's going to be on the show today?
Well, today we have Coach Annie Van Wetzinga with us to talk about her recent streak. They've won 13 of 14 games, so that's pretty cool. We'll have her. And we're bringing on a couple student athletes from tennis. They're here. They're just a couple weeks away from the postseason, so we're excited to talk to Pessoa and Alejandro Martinez to get their thoughts on the upcoming playoffs.
A lot of good stuff coming up here on the Coach's Corner. Before we talk to Alex, we'll bring you up to date on what happened this past weekend on your Roadrunner Sports. The softball team took care of business this weekend, sweeping Chadron State at home. The pitching was on point this weekend as Darby McGee and Kylie Burnside competed to hold the Eagles to just 1 run scored in 4 games. Both seniors in Serena Espinoza and Annika Anderson hit home runs to now put the Roadrunners in the 4th spot of the RMAC standings. Our softball team is on fire with just 3 weekends left to go in the regular season.
The baseball team had a couple games canceled due to weather this past Friday, but they would take wins in the 2 games they did play. In the final against UC Colorado Springs, Trent Maloney connected on a 3-run home run to break a 6-6 tie in the 10th inning to carry the team to the 10-7 win. Maloney also was stellar on the mound, striking out 7 Mountain Lions. The 2 wins improves the team's record to 14-8 in the conference and will next host UC Colorado Springs in 2 weeks.
Now for some tennis, both the men's and women's team took down RMAC rival Colorado Mesa on Saturday. The women's took the 6-3 win thanks to doubles competition, where all 3 doubles teams came away with victories. The men's defeated the Mavericks 8-1 again, and doubles competition swept the day to keep the team undefeated in the RMAC standings. The women also picked up a victory against Dixie State on Sunday by a final of 6-3. Just 1 more weekend before the RMAC tournament starts up on April 20th.
The track and field team ventured to Boulder for the Colorado University Open. Alden Grudel ran great in the 3,000 meter, finishing 8th overall in a time of 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Brittany Kochman put on a solid performance in the 3,000 meters, crossing the line in the 11th spot, while Brianna Vallejos finished 11th in the triple jump, reaching 8.86 meters. On the men's side, Michael DK finished 4th in both the 200 and 400 meter dashes. Emmanuel Olam had a top 9 finish in the long jump, hitting a mark of 6.10 meters. You can find more results from the meet at roadrunnersathletics.com.
We now bring in Alex Pessoa, a freshman from the women's tennis team. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
It's your first year with the Roadrunners program. You're a Denver native. Tell us why you decided to come to school here at Metro and play for the tennis team here at MSU Denver.
Well, I originally had my second oldest sister play for Metro, and she also played for the #1 spot for 2 years running, and then she transferred out of here. It's kind of just in the family to go to this school. All my siblings came here as well, and I originally wanted to take a year off, but when I talked to Coach Daniel, I really loved what he had offered for the team and what he had planned for my future here as well, and I was very interested, and then I tried out and I decided to go here quite last minute. I registered in the summer, so it was a big change for me going out of high school.
Very cool. I think it's so awesome that your whole family went here, and it's interesting that you registered last minute, and sometimes when that happens, you don't quite know what your major is going to be yet, and like, I love out Metro, you can switch around so much. Like, I've changed like 3 times, so do you have a major right now, or do you know what you're going to want to do afterwards?
So, since I was 8, I've always wanted to be a vet. So, right now I'm in a biology major. I'm hoping to either be a vet or a pediatrician.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You've had a very successful season in your first year with the program. You've been playing at the #1 single spot and the #2 double spot. What has it been like to play at such a high level early on in your career?
So originally I started as 3 for both the singles and the doubles, and that was kind of huge for me just coming out of junior tennis, and it was very, gave me a lot of anxiety just coming into that, but it was so much fun with the girls, and the girls welcomed me so warm. But then I did move up to 1, and that brought in a lot of pressure, but it's also so much fun competing at a high level for me. The girls that I compete against are at a great level. They hit hard, and it's just really fun to compete with them. And it's great hitting with Tabitha as well. She's already got a year of experience in, and it's great hitting with her.
Very cool. Yeah, talk more about Tabitha. So you're playing doubles number 2 with her. So talk about how has she helped with that transition for you onto the team?
She's been great. So I originally started with Mackenzie, and she had like such a high energy, and that was fun to start with. But Tabitha is like so experienced, and she's just so consistent, and she always has a thought and like a way to plan out so many points. And then we both work so well because she's consistent. I'm a lot more aggressive, so we both bring out a really good side to both of us. So it works well.
So Coach Elkins, first year with the program, how has he helped you in your first year with the Roadrunners?
So it started off rough because we didn't have a coach the first few weeks starting our season, and we didn't really get to meet him until the first week of our matches, so that was kind of a rough transition, but it adjusted pretty well throughout the season. He has really good tactics on the court when I meet him, and he has a way of like really relaxing me when I'm stressed out and not putting any more pressure than I already am in tough situations. He's like, just go out there, do what you're doing, keep playing the same way you're doing, don't back off, and keep being aggressive, so that helps.
And you guys have the opportunity coming up soon with the championships to win back-to-back championships possibly. So what's that like going into that, knowing that you know that's coming up soon?
He's really preparing us right now for that. We've been just practicing as much as we can. Our doubles is really a strong tactic for us, and all 3 of our doubles are really strong, and I think that's the best aspect of all of our games is to go out there and win all 3 of our doubles, so we just need 2 more wins, and we really want to focus on our doubles to become a stronger team. Yeah, and we're hoping to get more singles wins as well.
Would you say that you have a different mindset going into these matches since they're a championship?
Yeah, so with us it's just playing smart, not making dumb decisions, and just kind of making every shot and not getting too stressed on ourselves.
When comparing it singles and doubles play, is there one that you prefer over the other or that you perform better at?
So when I played juniors, I loved singles, but I think starting my first few months out in Metro, I've adjusted to doubles so much that I actually prefer my doubles matches a lot more.
And now that you're in Division II, you know, coming from high school, what was that transition like? What are the biggest differences you see in just the game overall, the difference?
I think it's the team aspect of it all. So juniors is very individual. You don't have one set doubles player all the time. You don't travel with a team, and it's all on your own with your parents, and that's it. So the transition with that was a lot different, having to work with a team.
Has there been one moment or match that has stood out to you in your first year, whether it was a lesson you learned or a big win to help you build your confidence this year?
I'm not sure what school it was, but we just played them maybe a month ago, and they were a really tough team, and I heard from previous results didn't do that well against them, and I played against a really good girl. I won the first set fairly easily, and then the second set I was up 5-0, and I ended up losing everything, and I think that one stood out to me a lot because the girl was a much higher rank than I was, but I knew that my potential was there. I just needed to find different methods in order to close those matches out.
Cool. I want to loop back to a minute that your family went to Metro as well. I think that's so cool that multiple generations and family siblings have gone to Metro. Were you the first one in your family to play a sport for Metro?
No. So my second oldest sister, Erica, she played for Metro first. And then my other siblings also played tennis as well, but they didn't want to play college tennis. Okay. So I kind of got my influence from my sister, yeah. And your sister played tennis for Metro? Yeah. What's that like to kind of carry on her legacy in a sense? It's very competitive because she has a few records here. I think if you look up, she broke a few records on like the years that she was playing. I was just like, this sucks because I have to compete against her now. I bet you can do it though. Yeah. You can do it.
Well, Alex, it was great to have you on the Coach's Corner. Best of luck to you and your squad in the next upcoming weeks.
Great, thank you.
Before we take our first break, let's bring you our tweet of the week. Our tweet comes from our athletics department's Twitter account as they are performing the men's and women's basketball golf tournament that will be coming up on May 31st. The event is open to all alumni, friends, family, and Roadrunners fans. You can sign up as an individual with a team or partial team. Entry fees will include green fees, cart prices, 2 mulligans, and even lunch. You can find out more information at roadrunnersathletics.com. It's time for that break. We're coming back here with some softball to talk with Coach Van Wetzinga on the Coach's Corner.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
Here at MSU Denver.
To stop sexual harassment.
To identify situations
in which sexual assault may occur.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
It's on us.
All of us.
to get a friend home safely.
It's on us to be a part of the solution.
And not part of the problem.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro.
That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
I'm Serena Espinoza, senior catcher for the softball team.
In the past 4 years, for some of these players, 5 years, as Espinoza comes in, what a play! The veteran catcher.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Harley Hoosier, senior third baseman for the softball team.
Good change. Right side, gets it through. One run's gonna come in. Another run, McGee heading home. She'll slide in, and Hoosier comes up with the 2-run single.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Before we talk to head softball coach, Coach Annie Van Wetzinga, we want to tell you about an exclusive tapping that's happening right here at the Tivoli Tap House. This Thursday on April 12th, the Tap House will be tapping its new Maybach beer, and Thursday is your chance to get $4 Maybach beer pints all day long. So come down and try the new Maybach brew this Thursday at the Tivoli Tap House. We now say hello to Coach Annie Van Wetzinga, head coach for our softball team. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Coming into this weekend, we knew that Shadron had a couple of great pitchers on their team, but you guys were able to figure out that runs were going to be so hard in this series to come by.
Yeah, going in, I knew it was probably going to be low-scoring games, and like you said, they have 2 solid pitchers, especially their number 1, number 22. She's one of the best pitchers in the conference. Had really good numbers last year, has them again. So we knew we had to really kind of grind out at bats and maybe manufacture runs, stay steady, don't push the panic button or get too frustrated, and kind of let the games play out and be, match their pitching with our own good pitching and defense, and luckily we did that.
Yeah, I want to bring up the pitching. Kaylee Burnside and Darby McGee just killed it from the circle this weekend, only giving up 1 pitch in the 4 games. How impressed were you with their performances this weekend? Super
impressed. Yeah, we gave up 1 run in the 4 games, and which I don't care who you're playing, that's impressive. Yeah. That's something. That says something about what you're getting from the circle and the defense behind them. And I'm just really excited about what they've been doing lately, both Darby and Kylie, and also our Destiny Lopez. She didn't pitch this weekend because the other 2 kind of took care of business, but all 3 have really been developing nicely and limiting walks, limiting big hits by the other team, and keeping us in games. And that's all we ask of them. And they keep us in games. Defense plays solid behind them, and then give our offense a chance. And it's really nice to watch their development.
Yeah. While the pitching has been so great and making the headlines, the defense was also incredible this weekend. 0 errors in 4 games. Freshman Corey Wright was great at third base this weekend. It seems the defense has come a long way since the beginning of the season.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like everything else, like with pitchers, they've settled in. I think part of it was on the coaches, the coaching staff. We kind of got the right people in the right positions, which is important. They've got the right kind of the puzzle pieces in the right place, so to speak. And then, yeah, like people are just playing with more confidence. They've settled in. They're playing with the right pace of the game. And like you mentioned, Corey, again, it's kind of like our pitchers, really great development. during the season, and she played great defensively this past weekend.
And I think you can see that confidence with Serena Espinoza and that lone RBI, and Annika Anderson with the game-winning home run. So how important is it, and that these seniors are coming in with these big plays now?
No, I was. A lot of different people have been doing good things and stepping up the last few weekends, but it was really nice to see those two seniors step up with the big hits. I don't think they might not necessarily have the numbers maybe we predicted or they want this season, but they've never stopped being good leaders. They've never stopped working hard. They've never stopped playing good defense. And so I'm really happy that, we got those hits and the wins, but also happy for them that they got those moments also. It was nice that, kind of persistence paying off.
Well, there weren't a lot of runs put on the board this weekend, but we have to mention the play by sophomore Megan Sandburn, who is seeing the ball very well these days. She was named RMAC Offensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. What have you seen from her that has led to this breakout success so far for her?
I think, she's been getting consistent playing time now. She was kind of behind some people and this sort of thing. She's always kind of been close, but we got her on the field consistently now, and so that pays off. Just getting consistent at bats. But also, I think she's just confidence and maturity. She's growing up as a player and learning how to approach the game, I think, better. If you look at, especially going to the plate offensively, she's been really disciplined. I think she leads our team in walks and doesn't have near the at-bats as a lot of the other girls on the team. So, that leads to success. Leads to getting on base, but then it leads to swinging at your pitch. And usually if you swing at good pitches, good things happen, and that's what's happening for her.
Okay. And now that you guys have won 13 to 14 games, seems like things are finally coming together, do you think it's going to start to plateau, or is there still more growth to go?
Well, I hope it doesn't plateau. That's not my thought process. I think that the best thing is we all feel really good about where we're at and where we're headed. But I think there's also things we need to get better at still, which is nice. It's not like, we're good to go. I think we're far from that, which is nice. So we still have things to work on when we go to practice, and it might not. As I told the players, we're not going to have these long, drawn-out practices. It's April, but we're going to have one or two things this week to focus on, try to get just a little bit better, a little bit sharper, and use that into the next weekend.
You talk about using the practices as something to help better your team. What is coming up next for the women's softball team?
We're supposed to go to Spearfish and play Black Hills State, and I think something that we'll focus on, we saw good pitching this past weekend, but we want to focus on up and down the lineup and in key situations continuing to be more consistent at productive at-bats. Whether that's putting down a sacrifice bunt, whether that's moving runners up a base so they're in scoring position. The runner at third, less than 2 outs. I still want to see people kind of working middle and right field to try to score them. So just real little things like that. Like I said, they're really specific things we want to sharpen up at, but they can make a big difference.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us on the show today. Great luck down in Spearfish, South Dakota this weekend.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah.
Time for another break. When we get back, we'll talk more tennis and bring on the men's tennis player Alejandro Martinez. Stay tuned. We're coming right back on the Coach's Corner.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
I'm Anthony Grant, Director of Athletics at MSU Denver.
It's because of your generosity and support that our athletic programs have been able to achieve sustained success and continue to be one of the top athletic departments in the nation.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
So glad you're back with us. We want to remind you to keep up with your Roadrunners all season long on our Twitter account. That's at Metro ST Sports. You will get game scores, updates, highlights, interviews, upcoming schedules, and more at Metro ST Sports. Go on Twitter, click on the follow tab on our site, and you'll be connecting with all the Roadrunners programs all season long. We now bring in sophomore Alejandro Martinez of the men's tennis team. Alejandro, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me here.
This is the second year for the program for you. What was it like to be on that team as a freshman?
Well, last year, coming as a freshman and winning the conference tournament was really big. The team didn't win it since like 2012 or something like that, but it was really like a team effort, and it came from such a great chemistry and the great coach we had, and it was, like I said, a grind, but really happy ending.
And this year, the team is undefeated in the conference, as well as 10-8 overall. But I want to focus on you for a minute. How's your season going, would you say?
Well, my season, the last semester, fall semester, was really good. I made the quarterfinals in the regional, but then this semester is not going as well for me individually, but it's going great for the team. And I'm kind of like coming back, playing better to the end of the season. But I mean, I'm just really happy because the team is doing really good. We are third regional ranking, and with really high chances to get into regionals.
Coach Barry Elkins is new to the tennis program this year. Can you tell us how he's been able to help your teams this season, or team success?
Yeah, he has been such a great add to the team this year, and he really helps with the team chemistry from like men's side and women's side. And I mean, the result just speaks by itself. We're doing a great season, and that comes from the coach staff and from the players, of course.
I want to bring up, because one of my favorite things about Metro is that it's a commuter campus, so people are from all over the place. And you're from a little bit further than most students. You're from Madrid, Spain. Exactly. So how did you end up coming to Metro here in Denver?
Well, first of all, I wanted to come to the States because I wanted to keep playing tennis and get my degree in marketing, and what American colleges give the opportunity to play sports and study at the same time. That in Spain is not possible, so that's why I came here. And I mean, I came to Metro because just like I didn't know anything about any city or any college. So the first thing that like grabbed my attention was the location of the school. It's just amazing here with these views of downtown, and that was really what grabbed my attention.
Now that you're here in Denver, I just have to ask, what's your favorite part of Denver so far?
Honestly, like being in campus, I just love it. Like whenever we travel with the team to other colleges, like you look around and like you see nothing but like trees or like just like kind of desert. So I'm really happy I chose Metro for real.
Very cool. So maybe one day you're the next Rafa Nadal, right?
Oh, that would be awesome. But it's really tough, yeah.
What are some big differences between Spain and Denver? Is it the food, the mountains? What has been the biggest transition before you got here? You mentioned the trees.
Well, the biggest transition obviously is the language. When I came here, I remember my coach picked me up from the airport, and like I barely speak any English. And now that I am like better at English, what I miss the most is the food. I can get over it. Like whenever I come back home, I eat so much, and then I'm here, I'm so sad because I don't have that food. But I mean, I love it, yeah. The people here is great. The culture is different, but it's great too.
And you play doubles with Daniel Lorente, who's also from Spain. So what's it like getting to play with someone from your country as well, and just getting to play with him in general?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. He came as a freshman this year, and it is really good because last year playing with an English speaker, obviously, maybe we have more difficulties like speaking each other just because of language barrier, but playing with a Spaniard now that doesn't exist, so it's pretty cool, I really like to play him. He hits some tricky shots.
Since this is his first year here, have you, and since you guys are both from Spain, have you maybe like taken him under your wing a little bit and guided him as far as the cultural things go?
Yeah, I kind of like his dad here. Not really, but like I kind of like guide him in the right way. Like whenever he needs help, like he just like call me or something.
Okay.
Like we have a really close relationship.
Very cool.
So what is it going to take this year to win back-to-back RMAC championships?
Well, I think we're doing pretty good so far, but we just need to keep focus in our target. Like we have the target in our back, everyone wants to beat us, and we just have to keep working hard and earning what we want to win.
And this year you guys have home court advantage, so what's that like? Is that going to help you any?
Yeah, definitely. Like we love playing here in the Regions Elite Complex with all the support of all the other student athletes or our friends here or the Metro students. We love that. It's definitely a great advantage when we play here.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you're majoring in here and what you hope to do with your degree once you graduate college?
So I'm majoring in marketing. Honestly, I decided to major in marketing because I didn't really know what I want to major in. When I first came here, I was a computer science major, but then I took a couple classes and I was like, no, this is not for me. So then I switched to marketing because it's really wide open, and I'm planning to like get my degree here and maybe working as an assistant graduate and get my master's. If it's here, perfect. If not, we'll have to find another place.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same way. Initially, I went out to school in Ohio, and I was the same way. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I kind of just chose theology out of the middle of nowhere.
Oh, really?
And don't actually know why I chose it now. So glad I came here because I chose what I actually wanted to do, which was announcing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being on the show. Best of luck to you and your team as your team heads towards the RMAC playoffs.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. It has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Before we get out of here, let's tell you what's coming up next on Roadrunner Sports. Our golf team is currently competing in the Mustang Intercollegiate in Goodyear, Arizona. They'll finish up their tournament tomorrow, so follow their progress at roadrunnersathletics.com. Our tennis teams will finish up their regular season at home, first taking on Colorado Christian on Wednesday, starting at 3 p.m. Then welcoming in CSU Pueblo on Friday at 11 a.m. Make sure you come out and support Alejandro and his teammates at the Regency Athletic Complex.
Our outdoor track and field team will be competing on the road this weekend and will visit Kearney, Nebraska to compete in the University of Nebraska at Kearney Looper Invitational this Friday. Then on Saturday, they'll travel to the familiar Golden, Colorado for the Colorado School of Mines Kit Mayer Memorial Invite. The softball team will also take their talents on the road and will face off against Black Hill State for a 4-game set in Spearfish, South Dakota.
That will do it for this edition of the Coach's Corner. We want to thank Coach Van Wetzinga, Alex Pessoa, and of course Alejandro Martinez for being on the show. Make sure to keep up with all of our sports at roadrunnersathletics.com. For Avery Anderson, I'm David Moreno, and we'll see you next time